And I really want to now invite our expert panel, Håkan Kingstedt, Chairman of Sweden-India Business Council, Aakriti Samaiyar, the youth representative from KTH Energy Engineering and Berkeley Environmental Economics, and Pranav Kosuri, the CEO and co-founder of Brandie and co-founder of Flic, board member of SIBC. Reflections, please.
Yeah, first of all, I must say I'm biased to this, it's SIBC. This is how we work.
And
it's a great opportunity. Just see here, 140 guys in the Sweden-India tech community, developing, working together. So that means that SIBC, we work on different levels, from the large companies to the mid-sized growing, to the startups, to the investors. I mean, it's a full-fledged program. And this was an excellent example about that, to show that, of course. So maybe I should not comment. Why don't you comment?
Yeah, sure, happy to. I actually thought this was a super fun panel, not in comparison. It was really interesting hearing about everything that happened in the morning. But I think when we look at, energy transitions or Industry 4.0, they're still relatively heavy topics in a way. And so this one, it kind of brought the fun back into what it is that we do with technology and innovation. And so that's something I absolutely appreciated with what they're trying to do in the gaming industry and in Warpin. So that was one key takeaway for me. The other was that I really appreciated what Shamik was saying from Trust Trace, where earlier today we were talking about, going from supply chains to a more circular economy. But still, realizing the fact that it's probably going to take a while to happen. And so I think the solution that they've designed, where they kind of accept that, okay, like we have things that are coming from Egypt and from India and being put together in a third country. So how do we tackle that problem and actually come up with a solution that increases traceability along the supply chain? I think it's well ahead of its time. And I was very impressed with that. So great panel.
Great. Pranav?
I totally agree. I'm also a little bit biased since I'm sit in the board of SIBC. But I think this is really my forte, right? The startup and tech community. When me and my co-founder Douglas started Brandie a long time back and looking at India as a market, it was kind of lonely, right? There were some patrons like Vinit, who was running Bombay Works. There was Kari and Alan and Nami at Truecaller that were, great inspirations. But what we can really see from this panel is that, it's starting to bud up. There's a lot of different companies and startups that are, starting to work between Sweden and India. And I think a very important point that Anna Gisler made was that there's so much Indian talent in Sweden, and harnessing that both from the company's perspective, like absorbing them into the companies, to get access of, it's, you have both the cultures there, so it's easy to learn from and start, going towards markets. But I think the important thing here is that, yeah, seeing Trust Trace is a prime example also of this, taking it in their own hands and building something in the Swedish market, but also having that base in India. I just love the panel. I think this is a start of something, and it's just fun to see.
What do you think the importance of two different cultures meet? What do that makes to the development?
I think in India we have a very can-do mentality, and it's almost that we have to have one based on, kind of the daily challenges that we experience. And in Sweden, it's like people have sort of moved on from that, and so they have the room and the imagination to just be able to innovate. And I think marrying those two propositions together, it's something that's truly special, and I'm very proud of how far we've come with this.
Yeah, I think, there's there's definitely a lot of differences between the cultures, but I truly believe that, in Sweden, and we saw, once again, I go back to Trust Trace, the openness from some of the companies here in Sweden, and they want to be in the forefront, so absorbing startups. India is getting there. Startup India that was presenting previously, they're doing a tremendous work in India as well, but I think Sweden is a little bit in the forefront there, that, together, it's a super match.
Sweden in the forefront, but India has the scale.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you once again, the expert panelists. They are the voice of the audience, and they really express what's going through in our minds. So thank you once again.